I am hereism. Can you see me? And stay afloat. These are the 3 titles of a new segment on the podcast titled Shorts. Short audio narratives led by each of the guys, taking you into a personal reflection on a particular topic. This week, the guys discussed their shorts, the stories behind them, and what kicked off the whole idea.
How is everyone doing?
Oh my god, so great, like so amazing.
This is so long.
So
we haven't
long,
seen each
guys.
other. It's like what, like 2-3 weeks?
2-3 weeks. Oh yeah, went to the exhibition.
Mad.
That was definitely not 2 weeks ago.
No, I think it was
It's longer, no?
3.
I think it was like
Maybe a month
It was
ago.
in
It might have
June.
been almost a month ago.
Wait, it was in June.
Oh yeah, it was first week of June. You're right.
Yeah.
2-3 weeks ago.
Wow, it's nice to see you guys.
Yeah.
Live
Live,
and flesh.
healthy,
Yeah.
skin glowing,
Come
beards
on.
showing.
To some extent, still in
You
the
know,
process.
throwing.
Afroing.
Must be nice. Anyways, yeah.
I just clocked.
So yeah, guys.
You
So
can't
the
go.
shorts. So the shorts.
Wow, Jude.
So the shorts.
Reckless. Reckless behaviour.
Why?
Bro's going can't relate.
Yeah, man, the shorts, man. The shorts were... oh yeah, shout out to the person as well that also reached out to us about our shorts. That was really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Something new that we... Well, I think it was more Jude's idea, really.
Oh, I can't take all the credit.
No, credits to Jude. Because it generally wouldn't have happened
Shout
if
out to
Jude didn't...
Jude.
If Jude didn't give up the idea, I don't think it would have happened.
We love you, Jude.
Come on. But, yeah.
like,
What made you come up with the idea anyway?
Do we give them the real? Or
well, yeah, okay.
Should be transparent.
No. We can't. Not here. The PC answer is it was a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. One. Yeah, it was a challenge. I think it was quite interesting to see how we would all kind of like approach something, and I think it did what we set out to do, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's kind of where it came from. It's just kind of like, okay, cool. What would happen if all of us had the opportunity to kind of speak? Because I think the lovely thing, not being biased, I'm biased, but like the lovely thing about the podcast is that we all have different like perspectives on things,
Yeah.
but we still all have the respect for each other. So I feel like with that, we showing the shorts is kind of like showing each and everybody's different sides and
Yeah.
approach to things.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think that's kind of like how it came.
Definitely on approach, because literally even when I was making mine, I was like, bro, it's definitely not going to sound like how everyone else has sounded, but it's like, there's still similarities, I think.
Definitely.
To be fair.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we could probably start with yours then, Berns, because
Oh, yeah, it's fresh.
Yeah.
the freshest one.
Yeah. So what? Might as well give a short summary, innit? But yeah, basically just speaking about the titles Stay Afloat. The reason why I even chose Stay Afloat was like, I think even in like recent months, I've kind of dealt with people kind of like not being disrespectful, but like almost make me feel like I wasn't good enough at what I did. And the reason why I say Stay Afloat is that whenever, like, it almost feels like you're drowning, and it's like, so there's a part in the shoot when I was like, then it begins, and then I was saying like all these different like, negative things like, oh, you're a phony, you're not good enough, all this kind of stuff, and then in between that I was saying Stay Afloat, just because in the midst of that it's very easy to start drowning and literally just give up. And obviously I quoted the Virgil moment thing, and that was mainly because I was like, rah, like I think in that week Virgil was doing a lot in terms of like the Louis Vuitton show and stuff, so I was like, actually imagine Virgil gave up and just lost bare confidence and they said, you know what guys, I'm gonna quit everything I'm gonna do because of one project. And sometimes we can find ourselves in a situation where we just want to give up because one project's gone wrong, and it's like, bro, it's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? It's like sometimes it wasn't for you. But yeah, just giving people that encouragement to like, no matter what happens. And I like the way I started it, because I kind of painted the scene of like a very rosy and sunny day.
For real.
Fam.
And then
I was even getting in the mood.
I was mad vibing like, yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Like,
okay.
I was like, hey.
Yeah.
Proper nice vibes, because
Yeah.
You know when you asked like Jude about like certain beats, I was like, oh, like this is like really cool. You know, like, and it just
Left.
God.
Yeah, and I think that's what I wanted to do because there's like that's how the day can go sometimes. You wake up feeling great, you're feeling positive, then one message comes in and your day is scattered.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I just wanted to literally draw everyone in, then just crack it, and then like, this is why. But yeah, felt like it was very liberating for me. It's my first time actually like editing on GarageBand, which was really cool. As a GarageBand. But yeah, man, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. I like how you kind of like gave that not answer, but almost like the solution to it.
Yeah.
It's really nice to think about the fact that like if Virgil or anybody would have just like stopped, like that could be the end of the story. It's almost like there's always like it's just an email. At the end of the day, it will ruin your moment, but it shouldn't ruin your day.
No,
it shouldn't ruin, the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Even I like the fact that it was like a practical example in a way as well, and something that's happened recently. Like a lot of us, especially within the creative space, we saw that and we were
that
like,
was a big moment, fam. We were like, whoa.
What is the meaning of all this, Jackie? What's going on?
Shake you up.
Not for real.
Yeah, I feel like he bugged out still, but it happens.
But I even like the fact that you use Virgil as an example because like we know on the pod like you love Virgil, but also I think even for like the listeners as well, if they've picked up on it, they would probably like see like, oh okay, you can tell this guy's like a big like fan of his work and stuff.
So yeah, that was my shorts. What order are we gonna go, Michael?
Just before Michael comes in, I've got a question.
Yeah.
If someone asked you to do a part 2, how do you feel like you would approach it, or how do you think you would approach it differently?
That's a good one. I would have actually put like a real life, not real life, but like almost like a role play phone call. Have more characters in it. If that makes sense, because I feel like there's, even though it's just me speaking, there's a lot more third parties involved in all of this. Do you know what I mean? So even like the pressures of life as well, because like staying afloat as a creative also means staying afloat in your family life, in your relationship, and for me, my church life, or different things. And it's like staying afloat is not just on an email. Actually, it can be on maybe my health is not good, or maybe this is not good, and you still have to keep on going. Like I think I would have probably expanded a bit more and brought like different perspectives. So yeah, I would have done that. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I really loved it.
No,
thank you, man.
What a way to like end the like trio.
Thank God,
So good.
Thank God. I'm like a uni submission. Hey, I could have done it without him.
I can't lie, it was definitely a uni submission for me. But like, when I was doing it, I won't lie, it's funny because when you're doing it, you're scared because you're like, bruv. And plus, because you two had already done yours, I was like,
it was all on you. Don't mess it up.
Yeah. And it's like, my audio editing is good, but it's not like podcast level. And I was able to actually discover a new skill.
Yeah.
Doing it. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, it was scary, but I think those are the things that make you grow as a creative. If you don't challenge yourself, you won't really grow.
Facts.
So yeah, and I kind of, it was like, it's imagine myself back in the day where I was like, when I started to learn Illustrator and Photoshop, just excited. When I finally got it, I was like,
Yeah.
And that's how I felt with this. So that was cool.
No, exactly that. Like with like mine, I told myself I didn't have the time to learn GarageBand, so I did it all on Premiere Pro.
Come on.
But even just
different level of mastery. Master, don't worry about it. I can do it here.
No, Premiere Pro, that's wavy.
But because I just know how to use the timeline better and cut and all that stuff. But then learning like the effects, because like all of us kind of played around with like the whole left, right hand, like
I
audio.
love that effect, bro.
So great, so great, and like it's a nice way to like.
It's immersive.
It is. Yeah. And I think finding our way to kind of make it a bit more interactive or just get people to it's unexpected for some people.
What was funny though, I remember back in the day, sometimes my earphones wouldn't be working.
Yeah.
So I can't lie, if your earphones are bugging.
Yeah,
you can't experience it the same.
Fam.
That left ear, you won't be hearing nothing, fam.
That's how you get a new set and you're like, that wasn't the song.
Wait, that's how it sounds?
What?
I was hearing something else.
Yeah.
Or like, there's certain beats like they like each.
So you be earning half of.
Yeah.
I
guess they're like, wow, it's really struggling out here in these streets.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michael, like, what was the inspiration kind of like behind yours?
Life, like, to be honest, like my current chapter at the moment is, I've said it on the pod before as well, and I've been like joking about, oh my God, I just want a sugar mommy and that kind of stuff.
He's not joking.
I'm joking though, please.
Yeah, that's funny.
But you know, if anyone, I'm joking. But I think I wanted to kind of explore that whole journey of like applying for jobs. That's something that as creatives, a lot of us do. And sometimes it can be mad hard because you're kind of like trying to prove yourself to people, but at the same time, you're kind of like, you have to like balance how you see yourself as well.
Yeah.
Because even though you're trying to like look for some form of approval so that people can give you a role, at the same time, having to remember like, no, I'm actually something of worth. And around that time, the rejections were actually just coming in like mad. Like every single like application, like I have this like Google Sheets like spreadsheet like with all the stuff that I've applied to. Literally just red. And it got to a point where I think I was just like, I'm so over it. Even my portfolio, I was like, God, I don't want to redo this thing again because I actually haven't got the energy to do it. I'm just going to keep it and hopefully I was like, God, just do something with it. Stuff. Because I just did not care and stuff. I wake up every morning as I'm applying for stuff like, So I kind of just wanted to capture that moment and what that kind of looked like for me. So like throughout, like even like going through like my day to day and then getting the email about another rejection, I was like, oh damn, that's so annoying. Kind of like exploring that, but then also the side of, you know, when all of our friends, I'm sure like people that we know, acquaintances, have asked us for like help on stuff or tips for stuff, and to them it may seem like a minor, but sometimes in certain situations they're like, oh, the timing's just like
it literally take you hours.
And you're also thinking like, okay, I know for me sometimes I feel like I can find it easy to help people, but then I can also find it difficult to find maybe like the same level of help, especially like.
You mean that's like when you're asking for it, or
kind of like when I'm asking for it, or like who can actually help me like in a practical way,
right,
with a particular thing. So for example, like job applications. Obviously, I can talk to people about, okay, portfolios. What have you guys put in your portfolios?
Yeah.
And I've asked around, but it's like, like it would be nice to have somebody who that's their expertise, so they just have more knowledge, and I'd be able to like get more insight into
in
that.
The same way you're like an expert in design, you also want someone who's expert in
exactly. And I feel like as creatives, like within our own fields, we can often be the experts for other people, but it's hard to like find the other way around. So it's in that position where you're obviously looking for stuff and trying to find help, and then somebody's asking for help from you can get difficult. So that's why I was like, kind of went off in like not a tangent in the short, but kind of like explored that a bit.
Yeah.
You know.
That's interesting. Just because like closer to the end, you touch on it a bit, but like there was a level of like, I guess maybe transparency that you might not have been willing to go all the way in. Or to be fair, I guess that wasn't kind of like the aim of the short from the way I saw it anyway. But like, how do both of you, I guess, deal with like the rejection part?
You have to keep on going, because if you don't, you will never get, like, the way I see it is that if you don't apply for these jobs, you won't get a job.
Facts.
But if you continue applying for it, you will get a job.
Facts.
It's
that's a very practical way of looking. Like, look, if you don't do it, you don't do it.
Yeah, it's literally just that. Like, it can take you a year.
Yeah, but you have to do it. You have to do it. Yeah,
and it's long. Like for me, think about it this way. I don't think I've gone into detail. I think maybe in the first episode, but like, I've been working in finance for the past 2 years, 3 years.
Right.
I could have been like, therefore I'm not getting. I've got a CV full of finance roles. How am I going to get a creative job?
Yeah.
But I continued applying.
Yeah, you have to.
I had to find mentors. You have to find different ways of maneuvering through it. Like, it's not going to be easy, but it can happen. It can definitely happen.
Yeah, but like obviously, like when you're going through that, it's emotional. Like rejection, especially when it happens again and again, it's like, oh, like, am I doing something wrong? You start questioning
yourself.
yourself.
Confidence, I would say.
Definitely. And obviously you look at your self-worth and all sorts, because again, you have you're kind of showing that you have something to offer, but then people aren't seeing that value.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and it's not even necessarily personal from their side, but because it's happening to you, you can take that in a very personal way. So like in the shorts, when I'd be like, like, it's so annoying, or trying to like air out frustration, and then I'd repeatedly say like, I am the can bleep this out.
Yeah.
And the reason why I kind of kept repeating that in the short is because, again, when you're frustrated, you're just like pushed to the edge.
Yeah.
So much so that like you can make a statement like that and you're trying to remind yourself of that. But also it's kind of like quite, not aggressive, but obviously like profanity is like people use it for certain reasons. So I kind of wanted to like touch on that. Like I'm using it for a specific reason because I'm frustrated. But I may not necessarily use that in like, my everyday. And I've realized like, it's actually so mad. Swearing, yeah, I've actually realized when I'm stressed or like when I'm like frustrated, it comes out. Like when I first started,
it's like tongues, isn't it?
Rapid fire.
Yandarabasi.
You're annoying. How you gonna say like tongues?
Yeah, that's what Jude, fam.
Yeah, tongues. Tongues of the flesh, innit?
Yeah, that's definitely tongues of the flesh. That's no of the spirit.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, like when
Wait.
No, don't mind him. Don't mind him. Don't mind him.
Are you mad?
I'll believe that.
Hey!
You're so...
No, you're right. I hear what you're saying though about the swearing. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask a question. Because obviously you named it. Can you see me? Do you feel seen?
It's mad because sometimes I'm like yes and no.
You're definitely seen though.
Yeah, we see you.
And you know what's annoying, yeah? Like people don't realize that even though like you're so wavy, but you still got struggles though. And I think that's hard. I think people always assume that if someone's so good at something, they don't need to worry about getting it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like this is actually a real life struggle that you're going through. But still, yeah, you're finding it hard.
Yeah. And I think that's why I titled it that as well, and why I kind of like explained the whole like, can these companies see me for like what I can offer to them, but also can like the people in my friendships or like my relationships and that kind of thing, can you actually just see me like without the creative side of things? Can you just see who I am, my personality, the things that make me me outside of my skill set and what I can offer and all that? But then also it's like trying to be seen on both sides, because
that's difficult.
I feel like as creatives there is that thing, people either sometimes just see you as the creative and then maybe they forget like, okay, there's a person behind this. Like you're not just...
Does make me wonder though, how would our relationships and friendships be if we weren't doing what we did now?
Much more positive, I'd be if you're being honest.
Do you feel like it's toxic at the moment? Not toxic.
Like, it's a weird...
Yeah, it's not. There's no balance, because I think that's one thing I really liked about Michael's one. It's just because like that question of can you see me? I think a lot of people who might not be in the creative spaces don't really like understand, or even like they aren't as considerate or as compassionate when it comes to that, because they assume that you're choosing not to make time or choosing to ignore or choosing to blah blah blah, but they don't understand that apart from you trying to solve problems for other people, you're trying to solve your own problems. And like most times, like from what I've realized, is that most people who are creative tend to be the people who everyone comes to solve issues, to like ascribe their woes and blah blah. But it's never like, you see, the creative is always the person who is, oh, they're cool, oh, they're gonna be alright, oh, they're vibes, you know.
We're just seen as the cool people, but it's like, bruv, man's going through a madness.
Facts.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not shouting at me to help me or nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's like when you need something, it's like,
who's
hey,
the
how
first
you
person to
doing?
call? Oh yeah, let's all
Ghostbusters.
And sometimes I feel guilty because it's like, if I can help you, oh, I'm so sorry I couldn't help you, but it's like,
No,
why should I feel bad?
Exactly. Is that like,
because it's our role.
And because we,
Unfortunately.
but I guess because it spills so easily into our personal, that becomes like, I guess, our identifier. Because I know, for example, like I've left within the past year, I've left like a lot of teams that I used to work with, or even like leaving like church, for example, and I was like the designer there, and like my identifier was the creative, was the designer. Like people would come to me.
Outside of that, what will people know you as?
And that's the thing, because like even now, those relationships that I had with those people in that capacity, do we still talk now? Not really. Is there like a check-in or like, oh, how are things? Not really. And it then kind of like proved to me like, oh, mad. Even though it's kind of sad, it was more like a working relationship, or like they just saw me that way. So even like down to the fact that like I'm saved in some people's phone as designer, not even Michael. So it's just they're like, wow,
that's hella disrespectful.
Do you guys really see me? Because I'm more than just that if you actually got to know me. But
such a weird thing. Because it's like, at the end of the day, you kind of want to, like, there is no
You
differentiation.
might not generally say that your first and last name actually.
Yeah, but I'm like, there's no
nuts.
differentiation between Michael the designer and Michael the person, because the person is the designer. But it's like, I guess people can't look past your use.
Yeah.
Which sounds harsh, but it's like, that's to them, that's what you are. And I guess like sometimes even when we have friends, it's like we have friends for particular reasons.
Yeah.
And that reason, unfortunately, for most creatives is because of their creativity.
Facts.
Which is sad. It's like sometimes people don't want, like, you know, the guy who's always the guy who brings everybody in when there's parties and stuff. They hate that. Like, I remember there was a time that I was that guy who, when there's a motive or something, everybody's like, "Yo, what's the motive? What's it?" And I used to hate it because I was like, "You lot don't care unless there's a motive," you know. But it's like, I also understand that that's how they know me.
Yeah, that's like the role that you play in their life.
You know what I'm saying?
Kind of thing.
But yeah, it was really, really interesting because it just brought a lot of questions of like, can you see me, and also like, if you do see me, who do you see me as? I guess you know, it was quite interesting.
Yeah, and like that's why I kind of ended it with, but can I be mad if I didn't show up as 100% of myself? Because if I'm only showing you my capacity as a designer, that's what you're gonna see.
That's what you're gonna see. Yeah.
So it's like, I know on my side I have work to do in order to kind of make that a bit more prominent. So
do you feel like you lack discipline? Because I feel like
my God.
Nah, you know what?
It's not a tricky question.
You know what? I was just thinking about it. I was like, maybe I'm not as disciplined as I need to be. Because even literally the Bible verse today is like something about.
No, I read it today and I was like, damn. Because like in the moment when it comes to discipline, you're not seeing it as like as beneficial. It's not fun, but you will, you know, your future self will thank you.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, and I was like, rah, maybe it's me that's not being disciplined in like my boundaries and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, it is a boundaries thing. Yeah. Like, sometimes, like, it's okay to say no.
Do you feel like you're being rude when you say no?
Not anymore.
Do you used to?
Yeah. And it is a battle sometimes because it's like, oh, damn, I could actually help that person. But I know I actually have stuff to do. Like, I want to go out and I want to do this. I want to spend my time doing this.
Oh, this would be the perfect time. But I'm moving.
I'm going out. That's so funny.
I definitely can't find
but we need to learn how to do it because it's only going to get more mad in the future. Like, we're in this business for like the long run.
I feel like it gets easy. It gets easy.
Yeah, but obviously there's going to be a lot more requests.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So like we have to learn how to say
Would you ever get... Oh, no, I'm going to ask that question.
Huh? I don't know where this is going. Cause
I don't know. I just had the flashback of what I've seen in the news. That's why I was like,
Jesus.
Basically, I was like, would you ever get like a PA or aid? But then,
Jude, your shorts.
Well, so you're gonna segue from that to me?
Yeah, man. I guess you can handle it.
Matty.
Why was he here?
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know why he was there. he shouldn't have been there. But that aside, I mean, I'm here as him. I think in the show I kind of explained it, so I guess it's kind of self-explanatory. But for me, again, similar to both of you, it was kind of like where my mind was at. I always do this though. Anytime I start to do something for myself, I start to question myself much more. And obviously it's happened more since I went freelance, because like I'm always asking myself, like, okay, what's my actual purpose here?
Right.
And like, am I actually doing it? Am I walking in it? And if not, how can I quickly divert? Because I know if I keep going this way or the wrong way, then it will take a longer way to come back and blah blah blah. So that's kind of like where the premise of the whole thing was, and it's just kind of like exploring that mindset, because I know for a fact that everybody thinks about like, okay, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? But it's funny because it's like there isn't any guide to knowing if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, because no one's ever finished it to be like, this is the right way, this is the wrong way. Everybody has different approaches, and they could achieve the same goal. Because I know, for like, we speak about Virgil and Kanye a lot. These are two people who have, I guess, similar but different accolades. Like Kanye came from music, Virgil came from architecture, but they both achieved things that I guess people could see in like almost like in a similar, So it's just interesting. It was an interesting thing to think about, because it's like, I know like sometimes people come to me and be like, is this right? Does this make sense? And I was speaking to one of my friends yesterday, and I was just saying how there isn't a definitive way of finding who you are. It's the moment you get confident in your voice and you stop second guessing yourself, that's when you've gotten to that point. Because most of the steps or the moves that people will take tends to be a lot of assurance in what they're doing. They believe in it and they do it. Even if it goes wrong, they still go through with it to see to the end. And I think that's what kind of differentiates someone who actually knows why they're here and someone who doesn't. Because it's like, you could easily be like, I want to try maybe swimming. Do the first day, it doesn't work out great, and you stop. And someone can try the first day, it went horrible, but they're they're comfortable enough to be like, I messed up, I can go back again and try. And I think that's kind of like where that whole I am hereism really came from. You know.
No, that was therapeutic,
bro. It's actually a great way to just take us in.
It's kind of soft, wasn't it? I didn't want to, like, fam, if you hear the other version of what I did here, you lot would have been so... I'll play after, it's chaotic as hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's chaotic as hell.
It's funny, I had bare bloopers in man.
I swear.
Yeah, they're bare. Like, you know when you're speaking, and English is not really flowing.
Yep.
So I had to like...
Wiffy-doo.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of... Even in that take, I had to cut out some bits.
You record on your phone, which is quite difficult.
That was really good.
Voice memo on actually iPhone.
It's clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
I need to get a new...
You don't put enough respect sometimes.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, Jude, how do you feel like kicking it off, like the shorts? How was that? Like the process, or did you feel like pressure because you're like, oh God, what I'm going to start off with?
Not really. And you know, the funny thing is, when I started writing, I started realizing that maybe this is what I've been thinking about for quite a while.
Right.
So, and again, with that whole second guessing assurance thing, I think that's one thing that I've started like to take into, like, not necessarily just doing it as a, ooh, if I don't do it, it's gonna flop, but more so like a lifestyle of like, I need to stop second guessing myself. Like, if it feels right, I don't care what anyone thinks. It's like, if it feels right, I'll do it. And I think that was like, even when I started writing, like, I just kind of like, I'm writing because I know whatever the end goal of it. Like, you never think, oh, I'm gonna end like this. You just start going.
You get there.
You know what I'm saying?
When you get there.
And I think that's kind of like a metaphor for I am heroism, which is kind of like, you don't know what the end goal is, but you're going.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Like, I think there's something you said is like, just get started, basically.
Yeah.
It's something that you maybe think of, and just get started. And I think for me, that I needed to hear that week, because actually there was a lot of projects I was like, I'm mad anxious about this, but I need to get started. I got started, and it was like, oh,
you just start flowing.
That's all right.
Yeah. Like, I always get like mad, like anxious when like I have phone calls, not like on the phone, but more so like FaceTime, like with like clients. I get like mad anxious. Like, I literally have to prep my mind. And like recently, I just kind of like,
why?
They're human. Like, at the end of the day, it's just another person.
What are they actually gonna do?
Yeah, and it's like, they're coming to me for my expertise.
Yeah.
Like, why am I the one who's nervous? They should be nervous as to like, if the idea makes any sense. Like, why am I the one nervous? You know, it's just interesting.
So
to
interesting.
start
Like,
doing that.
the power
dynamics.
It's
But it has to
really
flip on its head though, because I do feel like sometimes creators kind of get like put in the under bit. So it's like, you're bringing to life my vision, rather than I'm helping you to bring your vision to life. Yeah.
I guess there has to be some kind of balance, because it's like, as much as they might be giving me maybe in this some cases financial blah blah, and then you're giving them, you know, the talent, you know. So it's like, if there has to be a balance of like, again, it comes down to what I started with. It's like, there's a mutual respect.
Yeah.
If you don't respect what you're working with, or who you're working for, or who you're working with, then it's like, there is no point.
Yeah.
It all becomes pointless from that point, because if there's no respect, there is no way you're gonna treat what you're doing with any type of care. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you buy I don't know, if you buy a pair of like very expensive Nikes, let's say Jordan 1s, you say, oh, I can't crease them, I can't do this, I need to, like, you know, blah blah. Now you go and buy some like running casual like £20 shoes, and you're just beating them around because there's less respect for that. And it's similar in the creative like fields. It's like, if you don't respect something, you're not going to treat it well. Which is ironic, because we don't treat ourselves well sometimes, which kind of speaks about how we, you know, so it's like, we treat ourselves like the running shoes,
Oh
And
my God.
when we should be treating ourselves, I guess, like the Jordan
Like the
ones,
Jordan
where
ones.
we shouldn't crease ourselves. It's
I
like
treat myself
if it,
very well.
yeah, if that's how it's supposed to be. We need to treat ourselves like.
And we just won't
you
take
know,
on any client.
It's just like
Yeah.
having the actual respect and in a way discipline as well, because
It
like
is
back to what you
discipline.
said, because we just need to say no. Sometimes we'll be like, oh, you know, but the money, but it's like, but is it gonna waste? How is it gonna affect my time?
Yep.
Is it something I'm actually
Is it
interested
worth
in?
it? Yep.
Is it worth it? Will I grow? What's the
Yeah.
benefits? The pros and the cons?
You even want to be associated with the brand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because if they're like, oh yeah, they designed it, it's like,
It's a tricky
you know
one.
what I mean? I think even yesterday I was literally so I'm dropping something new for Kitso next week, Friday, and I was like, right, for the first time I'm sitting down and I'm creating for fun. So I don't think I showed you, but basically I'm working on something new. But you can see
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
But like I'm literally playing around with like gifts and all this kind of stuff at the moment, and I was like, I was able to do that because I didn't burden myself with so much work. And that's what it means by treating yourself. Like actually not feeling, I could work until like 2 a.m. doing it because I love it.
Yeah.
And it's actually therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
Or I could be at 2 a.m.
Stressing about someone else's thing that they like you don't care about.
Yeah.
That's long.
And it's like, we have to, for us to make our best work, are we being intentional with that? I mean, I'm sure there's like, when you're creating, you know, when you're creating something amazing and when you're just like,
Yeah.
and we have to have more of the amazing moments and the moments.
Facts.
So,
Like, what was it? I was watching the This Is Pop, and then there was this Swedish guy who was like, if it's boring, scrap it.
Yeah.
You know.
If it's boring, scrap it.
Yeah, he was just, but obviously, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, think about it. It's such a simple, like, principle.
Bro, sometimes the simple principles are...
But it's such a difficult thing to live by. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
sometimes we do things like, oh, but I have to do it. Because if I
no,
don't do
you don't
it,
have to.
you know what I'm
You don't
saying?
have to do
Yeah.
it. You don't have to do it.
And it's such a tricky thing to
It's
be
a
in.
life
But,
and
like,
death situation.
Yeah. Even like our emotions as well. It's funny how we can just like be so emotionally invested in these decisions that we make. Like,
Yeah.
If we're being real, a lot of the times like the decisions are emotional. Maybe we just need to learn to be like, you know what?
Less emotional.
That
just like,
aside,
we have to be principle minded. If you go by principles, then we're like, okay, like if you say I don't want to design a logo for a particular industry, then it's like anytime those projects come in,
You're like, nah.
you already know.
Yep.
You put in the folder. I actually got. I should know if I say it.
I think there's something in my eyelash.
Oh my god.
No comment. I've actually got a folder called Never Again.
Bruh.
Oh, you think I'm capping?
Nah, I believe you. That's the thing.
Man.
Yeah.
I feel like you needed reminders like that.
No, you do
real,
I've
because
kind of got something like that as well.
that's how you get into toxic client relationships. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You have to get out of it. Like I've literally, because I'm like, I got PTSD doing those projects. I'm like, this literally gave me like so much stress that I did not need in my life.
Yeah, for real.
And it's like, I think as you get into like if you just started freelancing, for example, like with clients, for example, like you'll realize there's certain trends and traits with certain clients. So for example, there's clients that they don't give you a hassle about money. They'll pay on time, they'll do everything. The ones that start giving you a bit of
Then you start
be
to
wary.
know,
Do you know what I mean? Or the ones that I don't really know. So actually they're saying they're paying for a logo, but they're actually paying for
Ends up being
consultancy.
a whole website.
different.
Tell me what my business should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know.
And it's like you don't deserve that.
Yeah.
Let
That's-
the
yeah,
let the Fiverr guys handle that.
Just
That's
have
not
to
for
be
us.
kind. Yeah, you have to be kind to yourself, man.
Everyday birds comes for the
Yeah, you have to
Let them handle that. I ain't got time for that.
If there's one thing that you could say, like just to round all of this off, if it's just like 1 point each, what would it be? Like just to kind of like inspire, I guess.
Okay, so I guess with the stay afloat aspect, literally, what is the thing that helps you to stay afloat? Whether it's maybe for some people affirmations, maybe self-help videos,
Motivation.
or your favorite artist, or whatever. Like, what is it? Is it a goal that you've got? Like, do you want to be able to buy your mum or your dad or something? Like, do you want to encourage or inspire the next generation? Like, what are the things that help you to stay afloat? Like, whenever you get hit with like a negative comment or email, remember why you're in it. Like, that's not enough to just derail you from your future. So stay afloat. Yeah.
I would probably say remember that you are the ish, and don't let the decisions, whether it be the people that can offer you opportunities or people who you may feel like know you but don't see the whole you, just remember, I think probably the most important thing is just like affirming yourself and not looking for the validation from other people. Just remember who you are.
I'd say, you're gonna be fine. So just start. Like I've already said in the short, but like you're gonna be fine. Just start. Your story's an individual story, and the process that you decide to take in terms of whatever step you want to do, left or right, it's your decision. That's not necessarily going to guarantee your success or your failure. It's a mindset. So you're gonna be fine regardless of what kind of steps you decide. If you're coming from, like, Berns' situation is from finance into design, it doesn't matter, you're gonna be fine. And just literally a massive round of be kind to yourself.
100%.